Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I just have a quick video. It's not a process video, but I wanted to show you some things I've been making using my Felicity Jane kits. Now, I was planning on filming this as like a process, a speed up, let you guys watch the whole thing come together, but this took hours and multiple days to put together, and there was no way I could edit that footage. I'm super indecisive with a project like this. So if you haven't seen my recent videos, I've mentioned in 2018 I will be moving into a Project Life 12 by 12 album. I'll still be doing Bible journaling, I'll still be doing 6 by 8 spreads, I'll still be doing traveler's notebooks here and there. I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything, but I really enjoy December Daily and wanted to attempt Project Life this year. And so I don't have any product or anything like that. I did order some things, but I don't have like a backlog of cards to use for that project. So I wanted to sit down and use my Felicity Jane kits and my remnants and pieces left over from the last few months to put together just some basic cards. That way, on days where I don't have a lot of time, I can just grab some already pre-made cards and finish out a layout. And so what I did is I just spread out all my paper scraps. I keep all of my Felicity Jane and die cuts and pieces in an acrylic drawer like this. It's getting pretty full. I need to maybe separate things out into categories, but once I'm done with the kit for the month, everything gets dumped into this drawer. So I just pulled this out and just kind of went crazy putting together 3x4 cards. I didn't tackle 4x6 cards or anything like that. I thought I would start with this and kind of see how it went. Now, as far as colors, I tried to stick to things that were pretty neutral or colors I knew that I was going to use over and over again, especially Felicity Jane kits. There are colors that kind of repeat themselves through kits, like the pale pink, yellows, the black and white, of course, and so I tried to mainly stick to that. That way it would be easy to work with. So these kind of got grouped into fours, not intentionally, but they can go into fours, or I can piece them out, mix and match, kind of just do whatever. And so let's kind of just take them one by one just to kind of talk about what I did. Some of them were a little bit more labor intensive. Like I pulled out my sewing machine. Typically I don't sew very often because it just takes so much time. And so this was a great way to sit down making these cards, have my sewing machine out, and just sew a bunch of things all at once, rather than just pulling it out for 1 or 2 cards here and there. So this was kind of a nice way to get those details. Even details like my tiny attacher. These, of course, everything is from Felicity Jane. So some of them were papers that I cut down to 3x4 size. Some were the journaling cards that you get in the kits that I just dressed up. Again, trying to stick with neutral colors for the background, using some of the branding strips. I have tons of the branding strips from the papers, so that was a nice element to add in. I'm okay with dimensions, so using chipboard. This one here, I took some crepe paper and made these little rosettes. I love these chipboard pieces. Everything will be linked down below. I wrote myself little notes, what I used on each one, so I'll link everything down below if you see something that you want to grab. But this one using the chipboard pieces, and then I just pulled out a lot of my paper punches, like circle punches, and punched different circles out of paper, scraps that I had, used some epoxy dots. So this one definitely has some more dimension, and these are mostly meant to be filler cards. This one could have a title on it, but for the most part, just a filler decorative card to take up some space. Using one of the papers, I think this is from the Brie kit. There was a paper that had all of these frames, and so I cut them out and they were just sitting on my desk not being used, and so I used those in multiple cards and was a great way to kind of frame in some stamping. So these would be great if you took advantage of either the sale during the summer when Felicity Jane was moving offices, or the sale in December, or the Black Friday sale. You may have a backlog of products from past months' kits, and this is a great way to use those up, especially the stamp sets. I grabbed a bunch of them in the summer, and so those made good title cards or filler cards, using die cut pieces that maybe I only have a couple small pieces left. And again, using lots of the black and white papers. They do have a pack of Essentials black and white papers. I will link that down below. That would be perfect for this type of project. This one here, I had a heart punch that punches different size hearts. So I punched that out of just some cardstock and some of the pattern paper. I used one of the Henley washi hearts, one of the tags, and this is one of the journaling cards from the Gina kit. And so I've left myself where I can come back in and stamp the date. And that's kind of what I try to do, is leave myself some room that if I wanted to add, you know, I don't know, Nuvo crystal drops or dates or titles or alpha stickers, I could do that on these cards in the future if I wanted to. Okay, this set here, I had a whole bunch of these butterflies left. These are from the Brie kit, and so these are super pretty, all fluffed up. Of course, they won't be fluffed up in a pocket, but that's okay. This is one of the cards from the Gina kit, and so again, I added some stitching, added those little butterflies, a little chipboard piece, and that dressed up an otherwise, you know, plain pink card. This one here, this card is from the Amber kit, and it was just black and white stripes, and that was it. There was nothing on it. So I used a stamp set, used some puffy stickers. I think those are from the Gina kit as well. Chipboard piece, and called it good. So really, really simple. So they can be super complex or simple like this. This is a card from the Brie kit, and then just used one of the labels, stapled it with a tiny attacher, and that's done. I could always come back in and use alpha stamps to add a title, or alpha stickers, date stamp, and that's it. So really just adding one piece, and really kind of dresses up that card there. This one here, I played around with some cut files. So if you didn't know, Felicity Jane has some awesome cut files in their shop on FelicityJane.com, as well as in the Silhouette Studio store. And so there was this one, it had like a trio of speech bubbles. And so I just cut this one out on some white textured cardstock, and I sized it down in the program to fit on a 3x4 card. This is just some pattern paper from the Brie kit, and backed it with that. Again, added some stitching detail, which is something that I probably wouldn't have done if I was, you know, making the kit or making the page in the moment. And then I did go back in and outline the letters just to kind of help them pop, and then that's it. You know, it's really just finished at that point. This set of 4 is really, really cute, and you can see the colors can kind of be mixed and matched between the different sets, but I kind of just noticed as I was putting them together that they worked in sets of 4s. So this one here is a card from the Amber kit. It has this wood grain texture, again using the Brie frame that I cut out, some die cuts, again using my tiny attacher to add some details, and then this one I heat embossed. Now that's one nice thing about making your own cards, is a lot of the Project Life cards, some have foiling detail, but not all of them do. And so this gives you an opportunity to add things like, you know, staples and sewing and embossing and glitter and gold foiling on your own when you make them. So I used one of the stamps. This is from the Willow stamp set. All the details of where these came from will be on the blog post at Felicity Jane with photos, so you can see exactly what I used. But this is from the Willow stamp set, and then I heat embossed it with a gold glitter embossing powder, and that one is good there. This one here is just a pattern paper from the Lola kit, using some branding strips and scraps that I had, a little die cut piece. Those puffy stickers were for the Amber kit, and yeah, kept that one pretty easy as well. I like mixing and matching the black and whites with the florals, the stripes and polka dots. It's really, the Felicity Jane kits all kind of work really well together. This one here is using a card from the Gina kit, and then again that Brie paper. This one I did go ahead and add some stitching detail around that. Again, a stamp that was heat embossed with some gold embossing. Some die cuts, a little chipboard piece. Really like how that one came out. And, you know, pieces that I had in my stash not using, like these little cactuses, I was able to pull those in and use them. Again, this was another product that I hadn't really used much of. This is the pom-pom trim from the Henley kit. This does add some chunk and dimension, but being in a pocket page, it'll be nice and protected, using some scraps and branding strips. And this was a card from the Gina kit as well, so you can see that matches that branding strip there, and just kept it simple. I plan on coming back in with some alpha stickers and maybe adding a title or, you know, the word today, something like that, when I put the layout together. But that just kind of gives you an idea. This would be a fun project, you know, maybe when the kids go back to school on Monday. That would be, I guess, today when you're watching this. So when the kids go back to school today, you could sit down and just have a crafty afternoon putting together cards ahead of time for your projects. Leave them so that you have room to come back in and add details or dates and things like that. Don't, finish them all the way out. That way you have some flexibility. Keeping the colors pretty neutral or colors that you use pretty often is my tip for that. I hope this was helpful. Be sure to check out the blog post over on Felicity Jane for details on each card and what I used. If the products are still available, those will all be linked. Check out the description box for links to everything. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you're looking forward to Project Life scrapbooking in 2019, I'm excited. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Be sure to click on that bell notification button so you don't miss any future videos from me. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.